Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Okay. Test, test. Cool. Is this widget working now? Okay, cool. So I have to go live for the widget to work. Good to know. All right, let's go post. Let's grab the links. Okay. Let me make sure this music isn't going to be super fucking loud. Just go ahead and turn it down. Okay. I don't know if that's too loud or too whatever, but it'll be all right. Okay, so let's start with, you know, I shouldn't be doing this the day before a ban list, is what I'm now realizing. But you know, what can you do? All right, let's go. Let's look at the Zeus first. Okay, so I was thinking about this earlier. Is that this deck doesn't really have a whole lot of turn 1 plays. Like, you pretty much, let's see, you have Astrabbits, that's 3, Elichick 4, Jolton 6. I guess Titanostrike is a fine turn 1 play. You add Thunderstorm, it's a 4/4, so it might not be super easy to beat over. So I don't, hold on. So if we count Titanostrike, that's 3, 4, 6, 8. So we have 8 good turn 1 plays. Okay, so about a 70% chance to find a good 70% chance to find a good starter on turn 1. Well, starter I use not necessarily a starter, but some kind of turn 1 play that actually matters. Because dropping an Elechic on turn 1 or a Fulgaris on turn 1 just doesn't do anything, right? Like, it just sits there and it's probably going to get eddied. And you're going to have a really bad time. Let me actually... Okay. So there's... These I don't consider good turn 1 plays. But... in Thunder... Let me go sort... Let me go sort by Thunder here. So what is a good turn 1 play in Thunder, right? Rabbit, Elchick, Jolten are probably the main ones. Let's see, if we take out Titano Strike, what is that? 57? That's not great. Is there anything else? I don't really think so. I think this is probably... I think this is the type of deck where you're going to be expending to draw if you go first. Because so many of these cards, like, there's no reason to play them on turn 1. So if your opening hand looks like... I mean, I say that, but I'm getting some decent hands. Okay, like if your hand is this, right? And you have to play Zeus, and then you Zeus's Call. And then your only good search target off the Zeus's Call on turn 1 is Titano Strike. Otherwise, you can search Fulgaris and then just expend to draw. Whereas if you draw a hand like this, you have Rabbit plus 2 back row, so you're chilling. And then you find a Zeus off your Rabbit, which lets your Zeus's Call be online, so then you can search whatever you want on the next turn. Okay, I think I do want to cut a Voltempest, actually. But I also... How many counter runes am I on? 2, 5, 8, 11. I guess I could play... I don't know, I need more guys to play on turn 1, I think. I think that's the main thing. The problem is Elchick is limited, so it's not like I could play more. Do I play 1 Electrifly just to like search whatever I want on turn 1, maybe? It's better than expended draw. But if you draw Electrify late game, that card is so bad. I think I should just play the 4th copy of Astrabbit. 4 copies of Astrabbit. How are we feeling about that? I don't think there's really anything in Thunder. The problem is this deck is pretty much just wants to be all Thunder. Okay, what about Wind? Because I do play the Griffuse Voltempest, so is there any good turn 1 plays in Wind? Not really. Aquarius that searches a water, so I'd have to play more water. So it's just a natty 5. How bad is it to just run out a natty 5 on turn 1? Yeah, other than that, like none of these are particularly great. Do I play a third Jolton or third Titanostrike? If I play 3 Titanostrike, then I kind of want to play an extra Thunderstorm. But then you start getting into even wonkier positions. Oh, hold on. I need to turn on pre-release. That's what I need to do. See if any of these new cards are actually worth playing. Like, what do you do? Okay, nothing. This card, yeah, it doesn't really do much. Yeah, 1 drop. Yeah, as far as 1 drops go, there really isn't anything. I wonder wonder if you could just play Winjin and then call something turn 1, maybe grab like a Zeus or something, and then you just don't ascend. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe what do you do? +3 for each Earth. Okay, that's not happening. Because I like the ratios of the guys I'm playing, so I don't know, maybe it is just like a... Is it Spark It? Is it a Spark It angle? Spark It isn't good, not on turn 1 though. I mean, I guess it can be fine. If you draw it in the mid game and your opponent's low on cards in hand, you can just rip out whatever card they have that you lose to. I guess it's not awful. No, I'm leaning towards Toxeon at the moment, I think. Which isn't great, but in an aggro deck, the burn could be useful. Especially if a lot of the Firestorm decks end up being kind of greedy, right? Because we're going to be seeing a lot more game plan decks that are going to get greedy. Yeah, it might be a Toxeon angle. I don't know, it's tough though. It's a tough one. Like if I could just play 5 copies of Bulgaris, I would. I mean, technically I can if I play the old crappy one, right? This is what it gets, +2 for each enchanted rune on your field, so if you have Zeus, it's just a 4. If you have Olympus, it's a 5. If you have both, it's a 7. But it's not. Man, if only Elechick wasn't limited, man. If only Elechick wasn't limited. See, if you open a hand like this, you're just expending to draw, right? Because you don't want to play either of these going first. Like, it's just not, they don't do anything. So you expend a draw, you draw Zeus's Call. Set Gorgon's Pass, maybe eat like 1 damage or whatever. Draw another Gorgon's. You can go Zeus. Zeus's Call, search something. Maybe you grab Volt Tempest. And then you play Fulgaris, pop a back row, swing in for 6 with Olympus. So you can pop a back row and then swing over a 5. And you have a second Gorgons. Yeah, like again, this is another hand where I would expend to draw going first. Like set 2 pass, next turn. So now you have Titano Strike, search Thunderbolt, pop a card, Zeus's Call, search something else. If you think they're on Argo, you can search Full Tempest so that if they win combat against Titano Strike with an Argo, you can just bring out Full Tempest. Then you just don't have any guys left, so you just have to hope to draw guys. Yeah, and this is a fine hand, right? If Astrabbit finds 1 more back row, this hand is fine. Actually, no, you need Zeus. You need Zeus in this hand. I guess maybe you don't. Let's see. Let's see what we get off Rabbit. Shield, yeah. So you take Shield. So Rabbit. Set 2. And then on the next turn, you go Titano Strike, Thunderstorm, pop a back row, ascend into Griffuse. Start getting in for damage. This hand is real bad. Yeah. Okay. See, this ain't... You don't have any back row, which is really bad, but... A bunch of stinker draws in a row. Okay. I'm noticing that 2 Zeus's Call might be too many. Jolton plus Olympus, classic. No back row in this hand. Yeah, I mean, there's just really not enough good turn 1 normal casts in this deck. I don't really know what else you would play, though, is the problem. Also, why is Earthquake not in here? Oh my god, is my keyboard dying? Okay. Earthquake. don't know. This deck's hard to Theorycraft without actually playing it, because like, man, most of the hands just feel bad without. I mean, I feel like this deck really needs the extra Elechics, right? Like, I don't know if you can. Like, having four, if you have 4 Zeus in your deck, you have a 42% chance to open it. If you open Rabbit, you look at the top 8, which gets you to 60, which is not a whole lot better. Yeah, I just don't think you find Zeus enough. That hand has Zeus. Rabbit. There's Zeus. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. That hand has Zeus. This hand has no Zeus. No Zeus. No Zeus. No Zeus. Zeus. No Zeus. No Zeus. Zeus. I don't know, man. This deck might not be consistent enough with only one Elechic. Because so many cards in your deck just don't do anything if you don't have Zeus on the field. Like, if you draw a Rabbit, you're just going to be re-enchanting for like 3 turns to find everything you want. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's really going to work. Also, if the ban list tomorrow limits Zeus, this deck is actually unplayable. Right? Because what happens if you... What happens if there's only 2 Zeus in your entire deck? You have 1 Elechic, 1 Zeus. 23% chance. If you open Rabbit and look at the top 3, 36. Yeah, that's not happening. Yeah, 24% chance to get the card that makes your entire deck work. Seems legit. Yeah, I hope they don't limit Zeus. That would be really stupid, because this deck would be unplayable. Okay. The alternative is to just If you don't want to go all in on Zeus shenanigans, you could turn this into just like a good stuff deck, basically, which is boring, so I'm not going to do that. All right, let's go. Let's look at Nick's. So this deck has the opposite issue, I think, of the Thunder deck, where this deck has tons of good turn 1 plays, right? So Narpoon, Rabbit, Brummalinx is good, and Bunnix. You have 12. You have 12 turn 1 plays. Yeah, 85. You have an 85% chance to open a turn 1 play, which is really nice. Like Narpoon gets you your Bunnix, or if you already have Bunnix, you can get Brummalinx. Astrabbit just finds you anything. Bunnix gets you your Nixamera engine online. So this deck doesn't have that problem. I think the main... I don't think... I was thinking about this earlier. So Infrostrix is cool because Brummalinx and Frigicub don't need to be normal cast to trigger. So if you have Infrostrix in hand and you have either of these in the grave, you can bring them back and then either add a Blizzard from deck to hand or add a Blizzard from grave to hand. So, I mean, it's expensive, but that would be like a late game play that you're doing to just win the game that turn. Like if you have a Nixamera Risen on field with like 7 spirits under it, you can go Infrostrix, bring back Frigicub, get back a Blizzard, Blizzard pop a back row, Nixamera pop a back row, swing for like 8. It also gets back Catarant. Yeah, I don't know. It seems fine. Like as a one of in the late game, it seems alright. Because you can do the same thing. Like if you draw a Narpoon late game, it gets Infrostrix, which then goes back into Brummalinx, which gets you your Blizzard, which pops a back row. So you get 2 bodies and a back row pop off of 1 Narpoon. That seems good. And this deck is definitely going to go late. Like cycling through your Nixamera over and over again. It's going to take some turns for that damage to build up. The main thing I'm not sold on, I think, is Cryoblast. I don't know. Because I have 10 real counter runes. Divine Blessing is in here. Cannot be targeted by invoke runes. Like Divine Blessing is super easy to cast in this deck. Because as soon as your Nixamera is on board for more than 1 turn, you have plenty of spirits on board to just pay off the Nixamera for your Divine Blessing. And it stops your opponent from using Resting. Poseidon's Fury. God, that card is horrifying. You can stop Ambro if you're trying to just push for damage. I mean, they can't Earthquake your Nixamera Fallen, so you're not worried about Earthquake. You're not worried about Cryoblast either, so it's like pretty much only Laurels, right? Like if Nixamera is the only thing on your board, you're pretty open to Laurels. But how many people are going to be playing Laurels in a metagame where everybody has a Divine Rune? That's the real question. If 90% of decks in the metagame are using a Divine Rune or a Stadium of some kind, like, are people going to be playing Laurels? Divine Blessing seems alright. I don't really... Hold on. Let me just look at all the Invoke runes. Like, what are we worried about? Ambro, maybe. Eruption, maybe? That's so niche. We're worried about Laurels for the Nixamera. Oh, it targets? Oh, am I dumb? Where's Laurels? There it is. It does target. Oh. Well, I don't know what we're worried about then. Maybe Poseidon's Fury, Hurricane. Other than that, I don't think there's really anything, right? Yeah, because Earthquake doesn't do shit. Cryoblast doesn't do anything. I mean, I guess you're just worried about Hurricane, but if your opponent's Hurricaning your back row and they don't have an out to Nixamera, I don't think you care about Hurricane. Yeah, alright. You don't need Divine Blessing. Put in a third PTA. So now we have 12 counter runes. Adam, is the music too loud? I don't know if it's too loud or too quiet. So now we can definitely fit Cryoblast in here, no problem. I kind of want another 1-drop though. Sounds good, okay. Alright, now I want to fit in one more 1-drop. What are we thinking? We have 12 starters, so we don't need more starters. What kind of frost stuff do we have? Old Brumlinks? No. Maybe we play old Frigicub. But we don't have a Nexus Bank other than like a super stacked Nixamera, so maybe not. Maybe we play 1 Keone or something. What does Mistral do? Is this card good? Can only be played when your opponent plays an artifact or divine. Put that in your rune face down. Oh. No. It's not good. Yo, the snow song when I'm going over the ice deck. Tadflow. Tadflow doesn't work in this deck, unfortunately. Tadflow would be sick if we could just immediately ascend into Nixamera. If we already have like a water splash, maybe Eddie's Galaxy. Is this card useful? Not really. Maybe it is one Keone. Morfrosts? I was thinking about the Morfrosts. It's just such a big package though. Well, I guess it's 5 cards if you play the bare minimum. Which I don't know how you would fit that in here without cutting. Like I feel like you'd have to cut all the Brummelink stuff to play Morfrosts. But Brummelinks is really good, dude. Hold on, what was I thinking of? I think you have to play Brummelinks in pretty much everything now that isn't Blizz, right? Any ice deck, frost deck. Frog. New Shiveror. I like the new Shiveror, but Nyx belongs in a Morfrost deck with no Bunnix. I mean, you have to have both of them in your hand or grave, right? During your end phase, send this to the Underworld or Special Ascend to a fallen from your hand, deck, or... Oh, it's hand or deck? Oh, shit. I didn't know it could summon from deck. Yeah, okay. In that case, maybe you don't need Bunnix. I do like that Bunnix is a 4/4 though. Like Bunnix with Boreas up, like it's a 5/5. Like how are you beating that? How are you outing that? Okay, let's... For the sake of example, if we're not playing Bunnix. So now we have 4 slots. Yeah, and then Morfrost puts so many bodies on board that you can go into the Risen very easily. But I kind of like that. The Bunnix even just adds it to hand, though, right? Because otherwise you have to hard draw the Risen form. Where's the more frosts? So if we play 3 Lycan, 1 Scorpio, 1 Bat. You definitely still need the 3 Narpoon. Narpoon being able to search Lycan is crazy. Maybe cut a PTA. Frigicub, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think it's the Frigicub. Which, I like this card too. But I think the use case for this Frigicub is like late game when you're trying to swing for damage with like a 7 Spirit Nixamera or something. But by that point, either your opponent's just bluffing back row, or you're just popping it all with Nixamera, right? I kind of like the 2 Catarant, because here, let me put back in the 3rd PTA. I kind of like the Catarants, because Nixamera is going to eat a lot of your frost. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it, but I'm thinking there's a scenario where you basically just burn yourself to death with Nixamera. Which that might be me way overthinking this. But I guess if you, I don't know, by that point you probably have Ambro, so you just Ambro, pay off one of the spirits under the Nixamera, heal 3. So it's probably fine. Yeah, maybe you don't need the 2 Catarant. Okay, so now we have another slot open. I think this is becoming too many like one-ofs. But they're all searchable, so it's not bad actually. I'm still kind of on the fence about having to hard draw the Nixamera. Because you need to ascend into Risen, right? Because if you ascend into Fallen, Well, no, if you send into Fallen, it's the same thing, right? Because this only triggers during your opponent's end phase. So you just slap it down, and then you wait for your opponent to end their turn, and then you go back into Risen. And this is only during your... So I guess you can draw either one, right? So if you're playing 3, the odds are pretty good, especially if you're playing Rabbit and you're thinning your deck with Lycan. You're thinning your deck with Narpoon and Brummelinx. So I guess the odds of hard drawing the Nixamera by the time you want it is probably pretty high. Let's see, are any of the other Morfrosts worth playing? Probably not, right? Terror. Holzer. Yeah, it's probably just Eddie, isn't it? It's probably just Eddie. We're already in water anyway. I don't know, how good is Eddie next format? One Edward. How are we feeling about the Infrostrix? Maybe not as good now that I cut the Frigicub and the Bunnix. Maybe we go for a second Edward. Without Bunnix, we are very low on good normal casts, yeah. Yeah, because my initial... So my initial list was this. And I liked this a lot because it had 12 turn 1 plays. Like 3 Narpoon, 3 Rabbit, 3 Brummelinx, 3 Bunnix. So you have 12 good normal casts on turn 1. So like you're pretty much always going to have like a good hand, right? So how does that... So if I load up this new one, what are our good turn 1 plays? We have Narpoon, Rabbit, Brummelinx, so 9. So basically just cutting the 3 Bunnix, right? But you could go for like a... about a 10% less chance going from 12 to 9. not the end of the world. How often are we expending to draw in this deck? Turn 1. Yeah, like, like, what do you do with this hand? This one's not terrible. Narpoon. Maybe these are just really unlucky hands, but a lot of these don't look great. Oh, this one's real fucked up because I drew Blizzard and Boreas. Yeah, and then sometimes you draw the Morfrost bricks, which sucks. Yeah, we could cut back row. I mean, the nice thing about these new Frost cards is that their stats are really good. That is one really good thing. Oh, this still has the Divine Blessing in it. Okay. Alright, what are we thinking about this? If I were to do this. I can't. Okay. Alright, so we have 18 normal casts. Maybe we go down on a Bunnix. Well, this is just the other deck, except I replaced the Eddies with 2 Bunnix. Yeah, I agree. Like, if you're playing Bunnix, I think you have to go all in on Bunnix. So, let's see. If we go back to this. Maybe cut a PTA. PTA seems kind of sus. I don't know if PTA is going to be that good in Firestorm. But at the same time, I don't know if Shield is going to be that good. Well, these Thunder decks are going to have really easy access to Thunderstorm. They're going to have Bulgaris. Yeah, PTA doesn't help us. Shield, Gorgons, and Tsunami keeps a guy alive for a turn. Or it like guarantees that we keep a guy alive for a turn so that we can ascend. Let's see, so we'd probably want to go... I know the spirit math doesn't really matter at this point, but probably want to put a Frost for another water here. Ugh. Rabbit, Bat, Cryoblast. Should we main the Cryoblast? I guess it punishes people that don't draw phase full moon, right? Somebody starts with Werepup set full moon and they don't shotgun it in draw phase. I guess we punish that pretty hard. But like, I don't think any like super good players are gonna play into Cryoblast like that though. Yeah, it's way too free. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of fire. Cause like, what is it? Yeah. Like it hits Kinleo, it hits Rumacol, it hits Volcaries, it hits Eddie. Like, I don't know if this is what it's gonna look like in Firestorm, but it's probably gonna be pretty close, right? What about the wind stuff? I'm gonna be real, I've barely looked at any of the new wind cards that much. Like, that has 1 defense, that has 2 defense. That has 3. That has 1. Don't even bother. Yeah, like, this is, I think the Galaxair is like the only good wind card. Which is weird to say, because Aeolus isn't really that good. Yeah, the Dracodoodle's annoying, but... Hold on, does the carry off... When it's sent to the underworld, target an Elestral and expend equal to the number of its... Oh, dude, imagine... Imagine when they do this to your 7 Spirit Nixamera. Imagine having to pay 2 from Hermes and then pay 7 to pop your Nixamera. Storlet into Chrysaor, yeah. What does the new Chrysaor do? Oh, yeah. Yeah, but... Doesn't the new Sorlet only have 4 attack? Where's that stupid pig? Am I blind? I'm blind. Destroys an Elestral in battle, search your deck for Aeolus, Champion of Aeolus. It's a whack Nobby. Yeah, it's a whack Nobby, but it's not a 6. Nobby is good because it's a 6 attacker. This Sorlet having 4 attack. I don't know, what is it... Like, what is it swinging over? You have to have Zeus. Oh, this hand crazy. See, we just got to open this every game. Okay, this hand not not so good. But thankfully we mulligan into this hand, which is fine. Okay, so let me make sure these are all saved. Oh, is that a fucking bot? Oh my god. Isn't Twitch just the greatest website? Okay, so I have these Nick Samara lists. I already looked at the... Man, if Zeus gets limited tomorrow, this deck is unplayable. This deck is utterly unplayable. If anything, they should put Elechick back to 3. I think Elechick can come to 3, but I'm biased. I'm a Thunder gamer, so I'm a little biased. He's not touching Zeus? Okay, good. I mean, this deck already Come on. I mean, if anything, Elechick just needs to be banned and then escape from Tartarus, where it only searches Zeus. Right? We need a escape from Tartarus version that only searches Zeus. This deck already struggles to find Zeus though, which kind of sucks. Because like half of these cards don't do anything. Yeah, it can't be a 4. It needs like Fawnlit stats or some shit. It needs to be like a 2-3. Don't give it Plucky stats though. Oh my god, Plucky is so ass. Alright, I looked at this deck too long. I need to... Oh, really? I mean, it does... I can see the Nogs, yeah. Because you really have to find... Yeah, like, you need the Zeus. Like, this card does nothing, this card does nothing, this card does nothing. Zeus's Call does nothing. Like, 10 cards in your deck need Zeus on the field. Okay, hold up. So, if we go... How many back row am I on? 11? Do you think Zeus's Call is even worth playing? Like, if we were to go... If we were to cut this and this... I kind of want to cut the Elechick. Or the Champion Elechick. Yeah, no, I will... I got into this game when Daybreak came out. And my first deck was Solar Nexus. I very quickly realized how terrible Plucky was. I don't even know if I like Griffuse. Like, the only thing I can think of for Griffuse is, like, if you get PTA'd and you can just ascend over something. Otherwise, it's just a 6 attacker. But the thing is, if you have the stadium in play, well, not even the stadium. Like, Fulgaris with Zeus in play is an 8 attacker. Elechik is like a 7 or 8 attacker. Yeah, Griffuse doesn't need Zeus. That is true. So if your Fulgaris gets PTA'd, you can just slap the Griffuse on top. Or you can go Titanostrike, Search Thunderstorm, pop a card, or pop a back row, and then ascend into Griffuse. So you pop a back row and you have a 6 attacker. I want to play Voltempest just because it's Gores. I want to play Gores. Maybe we don't play Arcolith because this is like an aggro beatdown deck. So if we're down 2 Elestrals on board, I think we've already lost. So then, let's see. Nectar. Let's put in that 3 Nectar. One Griffuse, 1 Volt. 1 call, 2 of everything. I'm definitely willing to cut the Elechik. I don't know if I want to go down on the Fulgaris though. That's like the whole reason to play the deck, I think. But now we gotta fit. Now we have to fit the Quackles in here somewhere. Maybe we take out. Maybe we take out the. Where's my favorite one? There we go. I love that guy. Gordito. All right, let's see. Fulgaris and Chain Strike is redundant. Yeah, that's fair. I can see that. Which I did cut the Zeus's call, so I need that back. That's a good hand. And then yes, you draw the Griffuse with no champion, yes. Fine hand. Rabbit, Jolton, Zeus, Gorgons. Yeah. Yeah, like that would be a mulligan. Okay, we got 2 Nog. Okay. Oh, there you go. Just gotta use 2 Nogs, and then you can find your Fulgari Zeus. And an Ambro, so you get a refund. There ain't no back row. I don't know. This deck is just... It's too awkward to build. Yeah. It's just too awkward. You need such a specific combination of cards, which forces you to play bad cards like Nog. All right. Yeah, I like Thunder and I want to play this deck, but I think I need the actual cards in my hand and to play against somebody, I think. I think this deck is too hard to cook with staring at a screen. Okay. We've done Zeus, we've done Nyx. I've already played a little bit of Fart. So I'm kind of burnt out on Fart. What else is in this set that I want to play? I don't care about any of the Earth stuff. I'm gonna be real. I'm slightly interested in spiders. I also like Javelantis. I think this card's kind of sweet. When it receives 1 or more than water in a Nexus from Poseidon, special send in Javelantis. So like you can summon it off of Veritaqua's effect, but it also can just summon itself if you have Tsunami. So it's not even like a brick. So it's like the opposite. It's like the opposite of the Zeus stuff. And this is a 4/3, which is pretty good. Spark it, man. I don't think Spark It's good enough. Now I really have no idea what Dan wants us to do with Ankla Shock, man. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this card. I don't know what he was thinking when he made that card. Yeah, the Hermes stuff is just self-burn. Aeolus cards are cool, but Sorlet is bad. Like, I think the best thing Wind can do is just Aeolus, search Galaxair, and then you ascend it into Fowlicane. And then you Hurricane your opponent, and then swing for 2. That's all I got. Hermes is the deck where you kill yourself. Spiders. I do like the spiders. Mainly because of Paracne. Like, if you have Arachne's Lair, this is just a big-ass dude you can drop every turn, and then it draws a card. You're just Paracne maxing. And then Kite Might being like a +2 with Lair on board. I like the draws. Yeah, Spider Lith. It is crazy, though. It's a 6/5 that just replaces itself. Yeah, it has the same problem as the Zeus deck, where it does nothing without the stadium. Well, that's not entirely true. Like, Warmight's a fine card. Yeah, like, you can still play. Like, Warmight still trades really well. Frostmite beats over Rabbit. Beats over Smoltuga. Like, you have things to do while you dig for your stadium. So it's not horrible. Oh, don't get me started on the Apollo cards. Oh my god. Get me started. Here we have the card that's gonna get banned tomorrow. Imagine. Spectaris is cool for bugs. I'm not a bug expert though. I'll let Bean Soldier handle that. Reforge, Talaria. I think Breeze is good though. I like Breeze. Like, if I were to play a solar deck, it would be because of this card. I like this card a lot. Yeah, okay, let's see. So if we're... Let's look at the spiders. So probably 3, maybe like 2? No, maybe 1. Probably 1 because you just need the 1 to get over the rabbit and then you're good. Three layer. That is 5 layer. I don't know how I did that. 3 Paracne, that card's crazy. Is this card worth playing? Disenchant Fire from your Hestia, search for Arachne's Lair. During each end phase, opponent must expend equal to the number of Elestrals on their field. Oh, it's on their field? That sucks. If I can help it, they're not going to have any Elestrals on their field. If I got anything to say about it. Oh, there's 4 Warmite in here too. Okay, so this is like the spider core, right? Like this is all you play? And then mandatory rabbit to help you find your stadium. Do you play Jolton? Old Warmite? Oh yeah. This is what, like a 2 of maybe? Maybe a 1 of? I'm thinking 1 if you're playing 3 Kite Might. If you go down to 2 Kite Might, maybe you go... Maybe you bump up the Warmite. No, this might be another Nog deck. But I think you can fit it. I think you might be able to fit Nog pretty comfortably, though. So if we're going... This is mainly Wind Fire deck. Jolton over Nog, yeah. So let's see, forget. 2 Jolton, perhaps. Do we do any Hestia stuff? Yeah, we can go down to 2. We'll probably find it off of all of our draws. Yeah. Okay, so if we go no Hestia. Oh, we definitely want Lavalith. Do we go? Maybe just some Necruffs? How many guys is this? So if we take out the 2 drops, we're looking at 15 guys. I mean, Necruff and like Sorlet or something. Just keep it nice and simple. Just play some 5s. Eddie over the Nat 5s. We are. Let's see. If that's the case, if we go 3 Eddie, do we need the Frostmite? Maybe like side the Frostmite or something, right? Maybe. Yeah, new Galaxy is also crazy, yeah. So if we go Eddie... If we go Eddie, I don't know if we need Frostmite, right? Give it -5. What would be the use case? New Galaxy is Eddie that just dies next turn. Yeah. Well, hold on. It receives one or more water. Oh, until the next turn. Okay, I thought it... I misread it and thought it said until the end of the next turn. That would be crazy. Okay, let's just fill in the mandatory stuff first, and then... Let's see, Tsunami... This deck can't really... This isn't really an alter deck, so I guess you just go PTA. Or do we go Argo in this deck? This deck might be... We might need some counter... We might need some counter Edward tech, maybe. Yeah. Hearth. Yeah, so you hearth onto your Warmite. Yeah, so we're just playing like Warmite control. Yeah, we can play Hurricane because we're already in Wind, Thunder, Water. Do we max on Hurricane? Because we are going to be drawing a lot of cards. I don't know if we need to max on it, because then we're just going to be... We might be bricked up on it after a couple turns. I've always been a 2 copies of Hurricane fan, though. This deck's gonna have some crazy boy math in the Spirit deck. We're going deep into like 4 elements here. Hold on. That's too many counter runes. Can we fit Earthquake though with all the boy math going on here? Earthquake, maybe Laurels. Thing is, if we have Arachne's Lair up all game, Laurels is kind of ass. Because then our opponent pretty much has to have 3 spirits on board. And if they have 3 spirits on board, at least, that means they probably have a big guy and a little guy, so Laurels is really bad. Am I correct in thinking that? Let's put the Frostmite back in. All right. Run it. Okay, two layer, no spiders. Oh. Never mind. That's a good hand. 2 layer, no spiders again. But we got Rabbit Gorgons. So what do we find off Rabbit? Eddie. Nice spiders. Dude, this is the same hand. Okay, here we go. Lair, Warmite, Tsunami, Hestia's Hearth. Broken. And then we draw off the Warmite. It's a Kite Mite. Alright, so then we draw 2 next turn. Oh, yeah. No back row, but we have Hurricane, so we don't need back row. If we're going first, is this an expend a draw angle? Do we expend a draw and another Hurricane? And then next turn we go Hurricane, Lair, Parachne, draw 1. Draw Gorgons. So if you don't have Rabbit, you're probably expending to draw turn 1, right? If you're going first. Rabbit, 3 back row, Lair. Draw into, oh my god. And then here we go, the 5 spider hand with 5 spider hand with no layer. Sad. Okay, Rabbit, 3 spiders, PTA. Okay, we find a Hurricane, which is nice. So we throw down Rabbit, and then next turn we can Hurricane, Warmite. Set PTA. Just set PTA Tsunami when we're chilling. Man, Hurricane is such a good card. This hand's fine. This is another expended draw angle. And yep. Yep, so we just pass and then we go Hurricane, Lair, Parachne, draw 1, draw shield. Crazy. Okay. This is the first hand where we actually need the Jolton. Oh, that hand's just bad. Oh, that hand is bad. We Jolton search layer, and then we have layer. We can either go Paracne, draw 1, or then Kite Might, summon something, draw 2. Okay, yeah, this deck definitely needs the Joltons, yeah. So this is a receive effect, right? Is there a world where instead of Hearth, what if instead of Hearth we go like 2 Hestia and then cut the arrows for Altar? So we Nexus off the Hestia onto the Warmite? But then we don't have that many Hestia targets, right? Like we only have 4 things that we can special cast off of Hestia, so it's basically just a glorified Nexus Bank. Yeah. I mean, I wish it was don't poke the spider, but it kind of only works with Warmite, right? Oh my god, rabbit. Rabbit, please. Yay, there's a layer. That's true. Yeah, I mean, in practice, you'll probably be able to resolve that combo quite a bit, yeah. Are there any other, like, fire receive guys? Fire... receive. Is that... Okay, I'm not spelling this right. Not really. I don't think Ash Rabbit really does what you want it to do. Well, it doesn't do what this deck wants to do. Yeah. I guess it could also be... Ooh, you know what? You can also use it to get out Lavalith, right? Like if you have like a Jolton on board or some shit, you can go Hestia, put a fire on the Jolton, and then ascend into Lavalith. So that's another use case. Like you can Lavalith over your Eddy or your Ash Rabbit. I don't know if that'll ever come up, but that is another use case for Hearth. But other than that, you're pretty much just using it for either Warmite procs or just like if you want to poke for 1 extra damage. This seems alright as a starting point, though. Yeah, but then you get hands like this where it's like, man, I got 2 hearth, no nothing, no spiders. Then you get this hand and you're like, yeah, bitch. Yeah, draw Kaimite. Yeah. How do you do the spirit math on this? That's the real question. Maybe like 3 Zaptor. Yes, yeah, I'm getting to that. Spirit math. You have to play the 1 for the Frostmite, which kind of sucks. I don't know, maybe you don't play the Frostmite, because, like, that makes your... Well, if you side Cryoblast, then you want that Frost anyway, so maybe you do just play the 1 Frost. And then, okay, next, I think water, like 3 water? No. No, it's got to be 4 water. We're at 8. We're at 8 now, so then we just go like 6, 6. It's a good thing you draw so many cards, because you're gonna need that Ambro. Seven fire, 5 wind. Let's see. Yeah, if you go 5 wind. You go 5 wind, that gives you 1 hurricane proc, 1 kite mite, 1 paracne. That seems fine. And then we go up to 7. So then we're at 12, 13, 16, 20. Yeah, you're gonna have to use your spirits very efficiently in this deck. Yeah, you gotta set up Hearth. Yeah, so you want to cast your counter runes with like fire and then re-enchant with Hearth. Jeez, this is gonna be a hard deck to play. I can already tell this deck's gonna be really hard to play. What time is it? Ugh. Shit. Oh yeah, I know it'll be fun. Drawing a card every time I play a guy? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. Yeah, that is true. The Zeus stuff is so good on paper, and then like you realize that you can only play 4 copies of Zeus in your deck, so you only have a 42% chance of finding it every game, so you know, get fucked. You have a 42% chance to find the card that makes your deck work. Like, I don't know. That's your problem. I'm gonna have to cook with solar another day. I think Liar and Breeze, there's definitely something there with solar. Solar charged. I'm the biggest Phosphocell fan in the world. You can't force me to play solar charged. I'm not doing it. I don't even know if I want to play these, man. The Exaltus is good. Yeah, cows are awful. Exaltus is pretty good. I like Exaltus. Plucky's like... Just play Argo, man. Yeah. Like, I think Exaltus, Liar, and Breeze can maybe set up like an actual Solar Nexus deck. Like, the cows are garbage, so you don't play those. So you just play, like... I don't know, like Lumaru, old Exaltus, new Exaltus. And then your payoff is like... I don't know, Draco Ray. Maybe you can actually play Celestlio. Or you just go for Tornadin stuff. Because if you're already in Wind with Breeze, like, you can play Tornadin. See my last deck. Yeah, I don't think Breeze is right for Tornadin. I think Tornadin's probably perfectly fine the way it is. I don't think any of these new cards are particularly good for Tornadin. Unless you want to do something with Galaxair. Like Aeolus with Tornadin in hand is like a turn 1 guaranteed Tornadin. So you don't have to worry about Windjin. That's a really expensive turn though, so maybe... Bro, get that duck out of here. Does my overlay let me see what emote that's called? Oh, no. Wait, is that an actual Twitch emote? That's not like a 7 TV? Yeah. I like Aeolus because it's like a guaranteed searcher for any card in your deck, but I feel the same way about Apollo though, like, God. Elestrals, we are on Elestrals now. Yeah, which it's unfortunate you guys just got here because I think I'm leaving now. I gotta go to bed in 40 minutes and I need a shower. I know. Sad. But I should be getting a I should be getting like a Firestorm content creator box in a few days. I need to check the tracking on it. I need the actual cards in my hand. Yeah, my Firestorm box is in... It's in Atlanta right now, so it should be here in like a day or two. Oh, do you have cards? Yeah, I know it's you. We need the Heroes Hideout gang on Oh, you have a lot? Dang. I didn't know you were based like that. Alright, I'll pull up and I'll convince them. I'll pull up and Oh, I didn't mean to open that. Yeah, my local store just got Elestrals last week. Like, just in time for the Firestorm starter decks to come out. Because the Firestorm starters are insane. Like, I looked at the deck lists again, because they had them at the store. I was like, damn. This shit is crazy. Had them at the store, I was like, damn. None of the local shops have it yet. It took a lot of begging. I had to beg them like for weeks. And then it took them another month just to get the product in the store after ordering. But yeah, I'll pull up in the Discord one day and I'll try to chill everybody on Elestrals. Yeah, that's why I didn't pre-order anything because I just wanted to I wanted to buy from my local store, which luckily they got it just in time for Firestorm. How do I pull up my fucking dashboard? Oh my god. I hate YouTube streaming, man. Alright, well, I gotta go. Thank you everybody for showing up. Thank you, Adam, for all the help. And I'll be back whenever I get my Firestorm shit. I'll be back. We'll do some packs. And hopefully I get a plushie. I need more plushies for my wall. Alright, goodbye.